We're never doing that again.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep, baby. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
All right, let's go.
What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 67. That's 67 of the Good Point Bro podcast. My name is Kay, and this is my little bro, Cam.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep, baby. We're going to get right into it today. A lot going on in NBA free agency. So stick around because later we're going to have our free agency team grades. But first up, we're going to start with our quick hitters. As you guys know, at the bottom, we got that bar below. You can see each one of those. Also, today's episode is sponsored by Stadium Live. So click the link in our bio and download Stadium Live now. But first up, we're going to start with our first quick hitter.
Good description.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway. Tomorrow, as you guys know, is Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. So for tomorrow, if you could have 4 athletes to bring to your 4th of July barbecue, who are those 4 guys?
I want Shaq, Braun, Anthony Rizzo from the Cubs, and I'm trying to think of a football player. Maybe Michael Vick.
He's on the Yankees.
No, Michael Vick.
I know, but you said from the Cubs.
I know I'm saying, but I mean, everybody knows him from the Cubs. Yeah. But I would take Michael Vick, just ask him about the dog fights. And I would bring Rizzo because he's fun. Shaq's always super funny. And then Braun is my favorite athlete of all time. So those are my 4.
All right. If I could bring 4 players. To my 4th of July barbecue, I'm going with Travis Kelce. Bringing the vibes.
Yeah.
To go with that tight end little duo, I'm going to get Gronk. Give me Gronk. Party animal. Again, bringing the vibes. I feel like wherever Gronk goes, you got to have Tom. So give me Brady. Brady, if you guys remember his parade for Tampa Bay, Duke and party. So
yeah.
give me Brady, Gronk, and then for my 4th, I got to go with Shaq. Yeah. DJ Shaq. Bringing the music,
That's
bringing the vibes.
Fun party.
So yeah, that's my 4th.
Be a really fun party. I retract. I'm going with like all the GOATs. I'm gonna go Braun, MJ, Brady, and
freaking Babe Ruth,
like Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, you mean Barry Bonds?
Yeah. Deion Sanders.
Yeah, he's funny.
I might have Deion Sanders.
He's funny for sure.
All right. And then next quick hitter, we're going to talk a little about James Harden. Requested a trade from Philly. Man, I'll say, okay. I guess I'll say this about James Harden. There's a couple of players from today's game that they're going to end up with similar legacies. You know what I mean? And James Harden is one of those guys. And to me, when it's all said and done, James Harden and Russell Westbrook will have a similar legacy. They're going to be offensive juggernauts, great, personal self-brands, big names within the sport, but they never win. They don't win. And especially when they're the centerpiece of the team. And so James Harden looked to take kind of a step-back role on the Sixers, but I don't even know if he's a good fit there either. And I think when it comes down to it, you're going to look back and you're going to say that 2018 season was absolutely insane. He was an offensive juggernaut, one of the best seasons we've ever seen. And he didn't win. And that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be similar with Russ on OKC. Being a 5 seed, Mr. Triple-Double, insane career, insane offensive skill for both players, but not winners.
The problem with James Harden is he's never happy in a situation. He requests a trade from the Rockets, goes to the Brooklyn Nets. They have that huge 3-man juggernaut with him, Kyrie, and KD. He wants out of that. He goes to Philly where he originally wanted to go. And he doesn't understand that he is the reason why they are losing. Like, he was the reason why they lost in 2018. They missed 27 3-pointers in a row in Game 7 against the Warriors, and he didn't perform. He didn't perform last year in Game 7, dropped like 10 and had like more turnovers and assists. He is the reason why these coaches get fired and why they keep losing. So just team mopping isn't going to change his current situation. Stay in Philly and try to run it back. I don't understand. They had enough to go to the finals last year, and they just didn't. They had Boston in a 3-2 deficit at home and didn't get it done. I don't understand where another situation that's going to be better than that.
That's becoming his MO.
Yeah.
Requesting trades.
He might as well not try to.
That's a good point because you have James Harden 4 teams in the last 4 years, and then you have Russell Westbrook 5 teams in the last 6. So
I feel like Russ does fit with the Clippers, though. Honestly, that actually looked
I
like
think-
that fit. If the Clippers
So-
were healthy last year in the playoffs,
That's
they
why
probably would have won the West. That's how good they look.
That's gonna be my rebuttal. That's why it looked like it fit because he was a solo act, especially when Kawhi.
No,
went
I'm
down.
saying when Kawhi
His-
was healthy,
he
and
was okay.
playing,
He
They
had
looked
that-
good. Like he was doing things for the Clippers that nobody else
he
was
was
doing.
he was being a hustle guy.
Yeah, that's
and
what.
that,
But
and that
he's-
was mainly in game 1. And then after Kawhi goes down, that's when Harden obviously has that 2-game stretch of like 60.
Russ.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
yeah, I think
I do that
Russ.
often.
I think that
I
Russ.
do that so often.
Russ does fit with the Clippers. He's a hustle player. He seems like he's fitting in his role. Remember, he went to the bench on the Lakers, and that helped him out too. So it seems like Russ is learning how to be in that role, and he seems like he excels in that.
I think
for the Clippers, that's going to be huge for them.
No, you're right because money talks, and he took a massive pay cut to be there. He's getting paid less than $8 million over 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's basically telling the organization, everyone around, I'm taking a pay cut. I'll take a backseat role, and I'm going to contribute in any way I can because, like I said before, when it comes down to Russell Westbrook's career, no one's going to remember him as a winner. And if he can get a title, now we're looking at who has a better title, Russ or KD still?
No, stop.
That's going to be the new question.
Stop. He'll be like the 4th best player on that team.
He'll be the third. He'll be the third.
Or maybe. Norman Powell was insane for them.
Yeah, he had a good series after Kawhi went down.
Norman Powell is a stud. Did they keep him?
He wasn't the best
Or is
player
he
on
on
the
contract?
team.
If they keep Norman Powell, he's going to be the 3rd best player on that team. He is a stud, bro.
He's there. He's right there, but I would still have Russ at 3.
Or what? It doesn't matter.
But yeah, it's up for debate is the problem. In the
It's
first
still
place.
not going to be better than. I would love if Russ gets one because I just think that he's got to be so pissed that KD won 2 rings with the Warriors and he really wants one. So.
Yeah. Next up, Dillon Brooks signs with the Rockets 4 years, $80 million, along with Fred VanVleet signing there for 4 years, 130 or something like that. 130, yeah. So basically between the new NBA duo is Houston's Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet for $210 million over the next 4 years.
Well, I get it for Fred VanVleet because he already won with the Rockets, or not the Rockets, the Raptors. So he has his ring. So you might as well just go get the bag.
That's what they were both doing. They're both going to get the bag.
Brooks doesn't have a ring though.
Hey,
but the Houston Rockets are just like a player dump. Like they're like a rehab center for players. So it's a good place for Dillon Brooks. Get a bag and then maybe you can go to contender after your contract's up.
Yeah,
But you're not going to win in the at the Rockets. That's where James Harden wants to go too, right?
Yeah.
Back to the Rockets.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Nah, I'm not going to ring chase anymore. I'll just end my career with a franchise that loves me, I guess." He should have just stayed there, honestly.
Yeah, he should have. They had some decent teams. Took the Warriors to 7.
They had a great team. They were 65-17 and 50-8 when all 3 of them played. Clint Capella.
Yeah, Clint Capella.
When Clint Capella, Chris Paul, and James Harden all played together, they were 50-8. They had the Golden State Warriors down 3-2, and Chris Paul goes hurt with a hamstring. If he's healthy, they probably win that series.
Yeah.
They were out. If you go back and watch that series, Game 5, they won 98-94. That series was just physical. That's what you have to do with the Warriors is be physical with them. We saw that with the Lakers this year. That was their kryptonite with their dynasty. If you were physical with them, then you were able to beat them.
Or at least compete.
Yeah. And then they got Kevin Durant. And then that first year, they were unstoppable.
Yeah. But overall, I would say props to Dillon Brooks. I mean, a lot of China jokes, but it's hard to joke on a dude making $80 million over the next 4 years.
$20 million every year. I mean, he was averaging 17 points in the NBA. Like, he's not he's not trash.
No.
That's the thing. Out of his
Dillon
league.
Brooks is a solid player. He's a guy that a lot of teams would want to have. He's a defensive minded guy. He's a pest.
Yeah, it's a guy
a lot of guys are gonna want, or a lot of teams are gonna want that guy.
It's a Pat Bev, Lance Stevenson, Dillon Brooks. They're guys that you love to have on your team, and you hate when they're not on your team.
Right, except
so,
he still averages 17.
I know, and so if you talk to guys from the Grizzlies, they love Dillon Brooks, but everywhere else around the league they hate him because he's just one of those guys. He's like a Draymond Green, another example. Except he's just not as good.
You just don't go for the GOAT. That's the problem.
Yeah, he just was way out of his league.
He poked the wrong bear.
And he hasn't won anything, so guys around the NBA don't respect him.
And they should.
For him to do that. Yeah. He hasn't won anything yet.
But
he's acting like
I said before.
But to get there, maybe you have to act like that.
His reply to the masses was, watch this. 80 mil.
Yeah, but Sometimes money doesn't matter if you're just a clown.
I think it still does.
I mean, I'm just saying.
He's a Pat Bev that averaged 17.
Yeah. No, he
and can guard more positions on the court.
He is a good player, but he's just. I mean, he just went at the wrong guy, and I mean, it's impossible not to make fun of that situation.
Oh yeah,
like you win one game,
and then
you win one game, you act
6.
like you're the best player in the NBA. You go at the GOAT, and then you lose in 6 games. You get ejected one game for hitting the guy in the balls.
I poke bears.
And then he was wearing like a coat with a chain with no shirt on.
Yeah,
that just said
sunglasses.
DB. It was like a huge diamond chain.
Yeah.
It was like, what did we want? It was like a SNL skit. It
I don't
didn't even make any sense.
I don't respect anybody.
But yeah, it was cringy. He
That's how he
definitely,
said it, bro.
he definitely deserved to be made fun of.
That was pretty close, dude.
But I bet you. I wonder if he's still gonna be like that at the Rockets. I wonder if he's gonna change from that situation.
No, yeah, he'll be chiller for sure. They're not gonna be contenders. They're not gonna win anything.
I just feel like that whole and if you notice with the Grizzlies, they're signing all these like vets to just change the culture on there. I think that all the players from the Grizzlies just fed off each other and created this like disastrous culture there.
A culture of young guys with guns flailing in cars
just,
and like,
chips on their shoulders, which is not bad, but they were just
chips on their shoulders with no chip because nobody has beef with them.
Yeah.
The only beef people have with them is that they already had a chip on their shoulder without winning anything.
Yeah. So,
but yeah,
that whole I feel like Dylan Brooks being out of there, he'll probably be a different player.
Yeah,
and he'll probably be better.
I don't respect anybody till they give me 40.
Yeah, he said, I don't respect nobody till they give me 40.
40.
And then they lost by 40 in game 6.
And LeBron had 20 and 20.
And they were like, that's your 40.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd rather Braun score 40.
They were down by like 50
He thought he was
going to
outsmart like one of the smartest basketball players to get him out of his like
and what kills
comfort zone for him to score 40 and the Lakers to still lose.
Yeah, just reliving that beef. What kills me is the next day when LeBron comes and talks to him pregame.
He looks so scared.
Dylan Brooks doesn't say a word.
Like, I'm not built for this.
Then the camera pans, LeBron just goes straight in.
He was like, you're trash. Tomahawk.
Yeah, he was just like,
no, Dylan was
do
like,
your job. Do your job, dunk.
When LeBron was talking to him, Dylan was like,
yeah.
And then he was like, do your job.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks was just nodding his head.
Trouble. Yeah. Yeah, he was just like on a different high after game 2.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Till they give me 40.
Yeah.
All right, moving over. Damian Lillard is basically on the block. We'll see what goes on with that. A lot of people are saying that he can't go to the Heat. They don't have enough pieces for him.
I agree. Because, listen, the thing about the Heat, they have Tyler Hero as their best piece to trade, and he's a guard. They already got Scoot Henderson in the draft, who's going to be a future All-Star. You don't need Tyler Hero.
I agree
You also have Anthony Simons.
I agree with you to some extent.
And if you're they said they wanted an All-Star level player back, right? The Celtics have Jaylen Brown, who's 26 years old and is a stud. Make that trade if you're the Boston Celtics. You get a guy who's one of the best closers in the league, who you can pair with Jason Tatum, who doesn't close often, and you pair him with Porzingis. That's the best offense in the NBA by far. Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, all on the same team. That's by far Vegas' favorite. 100%.
I would say that Jason Tatum has closed as of recently, but that doesn't mean I don't like the trade. The only thing I don't like about it is Damian Lillard said he doesn't want to go there, and he doesn't have a no-trade clause. But like Nick Wright was saying, the amount that his contract is worth is almost a no-trade clause in of itself. Now, a lot of teams aren't going to trade for him just because of how much money his contract is in the first place. And then secondly, if he doesn't want to go there, you're going to trade for him and pay him that much money to be in a place he doesn't want to be?
But this is the thing. His first years, he gets like 45 mil. And then it ups to 58 and then like 68. So just try to win those first years and trade him. You know what I mean? Get him from
trade him back.
Get him from 33 and 34, probably his last 2 prime years of his career. He's a small guard. He's probably going to flame out. Get him for those 2 years where he's making $45 million, then trade him. Because if you look at his contract, it's like 45, 58, 68, which I would throw up if I was that owner paying one guy $68 million.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Like, that's like 2 max contracts in the same for one guy, but that's crazy. I mean, I think the best 2 teams, obviously if you're the Heat, you want him, but I just don't think they can make a trade. But I wouldn't doubt Pat Riley. I mean, maybe he can figure something out. But I think the 2 best teams that are in position to make trades is the 76ers and the Celtics. The Celtics could Jaylen Brown and picks or whatever. That's easily they're going to trade for that. Jaylen Brown's a young wing guy, super promising. And then you got the Sixers who you can trade Tyrese Maxey and then Tobias Harris who's on an expiring contract, and then maybe throw in James Harden for a year. And you could trade James Harden, then the Trailblazers could trade James Harden to somewhere else, get more pieces.
Like a Washington Chris Paul type thing.
Yeah, he's not gonna stay like the Wizards did. He's not gonna obviously stay at the Trailblazers, but you can get him and then trade him for another piece. Trade them for the Rockets, maybe for some picks and a good young player. Because the Rockets are loaded with picks from the Brooklyn Nets. So yeah, they could definitely do that.
That would be insane if the Rockets just get Harden back and all the picks from Brooklyn. Brooklyn's the most down bad organization.
Well, I mean, the Brooklyn doesn't look bad right now.
Because they got KD's trade. But if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
Like Brooklyn now is loaded with picks too, and none of them are theirs.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Are you good there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So next up, Shohei Ohtani. Unbelievable. We kind of had an argument the other day about would you rather who's greater, I guess, him or Barry Bonds.
I said I want Barry Bonds because dude hit like 380 with a 500 on base. Literally, he got intentionally walked when the bases were loaded. That's how good he was. But I mean, in this modern era of baseball with how good everybody is, like baseball has never been better. Guys are, what would you say, like 30 plus guys are throwing 100 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Like, unbelievable.
And if you're
Like
able to hit 31 home runs by All-Star break and bat 300 while also having a 2.5, 3 ERA, like you're so much better than everybody else. It's insane. Like the gap between him and the next best player is like the Grand Canyon. It's absolutely ridiculous.
No, that's pretty much exactly what I was going to say. Basically similar to like you saying the gap, I guess.
The gap has to be insane. I mean, he's literally like, is he a top 10 pitcher in the MLB statistically?
Strikeout wise.
He's always been good strikeouts. But like ERA, he's not. I'm just saying, like, is he a top 10 pitcher in MLB?
Probably not.
But he's
right
top
there.
20, top 15.
If ESPN made a ranking, they'd put him there.
Yeah,
but I don't know if he is.
I need to see this guy in the postseason. The Angels are 45 and 41. So, like, they needed to get it together.
Yeah.
We need to see him in the postseason. We don't want another Mike Trout on the Angels where we never see him in the playoffs in his prime.
Yeah.
That just sucks. That's one thing that sucks about baseball a little bit.
Yeah.
Is, like, one guy who... Even Shohei Ohtani, this dude has a...
Well, that's what I was about to say about him.
3 ERA and 30 home runs, and they're third in their division. And he's the best player on the planet by far. That's one thing about baseball.
He's their best pitcher and hitter.
That's what I'm saying. And he's third in the division. If you had a guy that was that good in basketball, they're at least top 4 seed in whatever conference.
Yeah. Well, to me, what's so insane about Shohei Ohtani is I think he's actually the best athlete in all of sports. Any sport you want.
Probably.
Shohei Ohtani is the best athlete in sports. I mean, he has a 3 ERA with 130 strikeouts, over 30 home runs. He's batting 300 and has 70 RBIs, and we're not at the All-Star break. He's a pitcher that hits and plays the field, if you want to word it like that. And he's on pace to break Aaron Judge's home run record from last year. Yeah. The AL home run record that was set last year. This dude's having a 3 RA with 130 strikeouts and is on pace to break that record.
Yeah. It was like if you just like added Aaron Judge's home run season that he had a 3 RA.
We're watching an MLB The Show create a player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what we're like. This dude's playing a video game, and way more so than any player that we've probably ever seen.
And he doesn't hit batting practice, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know.
This album was way better.
When I had it was amazing.
Yeah.
When I had TikTok, I would see those random videos of like Japanese pitchers pitching in like barns. It would be insane. Like they're just like random Japanese dudes throwing 100, and it would look like it was a cannon. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's my impression. All right, I think we're over to. Here's our first segment: top 10 players in NBA history. You up first?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So this is my top 10 players in NBA history. Number 10, we're going with Hakeem. Dude was a straight beast, one of the best defenders ever, and he was a great post player. Probably maybe had the deepest bag out of any post player of all time. Number 9 is Steph Curry, the greatest shooter God ever created, Stephen A. Smith. Yeah. And it's probably the best small player ever. Like, has an argument for the best pound-for-pound player of all time. Number 8 is Larry Bird. Didn't have a super long career, so that hurts him. But during his prime, he was one of the best players ever. Has 3 chips, 3 MVPs straight. Just one of the best players ever. 7 is Tim Duncan, the most consistent player ever. Never finished the season without having at least 50 wins, 5 titles, 3 Finals MVPs. Part of one of the best dynasties of all time. 6, I got Shaq. Had arguably the best 3-season peak ever. Averaged like 36, 13, and 9 in the finals against the New Jersey Nets. Was just a freaking beast. The most dominant player in NBA history. Number 5, I got Kobe Bryant. I have Kobe over him because of the repeat he did with Pau Gasol. That other championship just helped him pass Shaq. The best tough shot maker ever. Just like a 90% of Michael Jordan. Number 5 best player ever. Think about how good MJ is, where a 90% version of him is the 5th best player ever. That's pretty crazy. Number 4 is Magic Johnson. Best passer ever. 6'9" point guard. Freak of nature. Just made everybody around him better. And he only played like 11. He played 12 seasons and went to 9 finals. That's insane. 75% of the time he was in the league, he was in the final game of the season. That's crazy. Number 3, I got Kareem. Arguably from start to finish the best basketball career ever. He won 4 high school state championships, 3 championships in college, and 6 in the NBA. Also won 6 MVPs. Had the most unstoppable shot ever. And until LeBron, he was the all-time leading scorer. So if you're just talking about accolades, I mean, he's easily could be argued as a GOAT. Number 2, I got Michael Jordan, the greatest winner ever. 6 for 6 in the finals. Only played 15 seasons. Just when he had his crew, he never lost. And he's probably the best myth in NBA history, the most recognizable athlete probably of all time. Number 1, I got LeBron James. Had the most hype. Think about this. On the cover of Sports Illustrated at 17, had the most hype of anybody who's ever lived in athletics and somehow surpassed it. He was better than what we thought he was going to be. 4 championships, only player ever in NBA history to win for 3 different franchises, 3 Finals MVPs. Finals MVP on each of those 3 teams. Just the best at elevating teammates. We've never seen someone that can take lesser talent and make them great. And think about it like this. He's basically a Magic Johnson. He's Magic Johnson, but is the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Like he's like a step below Magic's passing, but averaged 27 for his career. That's how good LeBron James is. That's my top 10.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. My guy. I'm not going to go that in-depth with mine. But at number 10, I got Tim Duncan. One of the greatest centers of all time, obviously part of the Spurs dynasty. At number 9, I have Shaquille O'Neal. Like you said, one of the greatest peaks ever. I also think it was a little bit underrated how he was able to play with Orlando. I think he was a Greek freak before Giannis.
And he beat Michael Jordan
during
his run.
Right,
yeah.
with Penny.
That's got to count for something. Oh, but he came back for baseball. No, he still played like 30 games and dropped 55 against the Knicks in the series before that. Oh, but he was tired.
I think he played 16 regular season games.
No, he played more than that. He played like 30.
At number 8, I got Steph Curry. Greatest shooter to ever touch a basketball. At number 7, give me Bill Russell. 11 titles in 12 years. I mean, if you say that, what are you going to argue for real? The only thing I'll say with him is he played with 11 Hall of Famers in an 8-team league. That's pretty rough.
I put Will and Bill I can't really rank them, so I put them in a whole different category.
At number 6, I got Larry Bird. Greatest white player to ever touch a basketball.
For now.
Jokic
is coming.
Jokic and Luka. Greatest American white player.
Yeah.
We're getting too specific now. At number 5, Kobe Bean Bryant. At number 4, Magic Johnson. At number 3, Kareem. I think that's pretty undisputed that he's right. I think he's a consensus top 3 for people that actually know the sport of basketball. He's a top 3 player.
Gotta be.
At number 2, I put LeBron, and for now at 1, I put Jordan. Ask me again tomorrow on that one.
Yeah. 1A, 1B. Kind of the same for me too. 1A, 1B. I just think my argument for LeBron, and it's tough because I catch myself. I'm like, I'm just making I'm making more what if arguments for LeBron, more excuses for LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So like, what Michael Jordan, he did it. Like he won 6, and then you just have like he won 6. He has more accolades. When you look at the advanced stats, he's always just like slightly better on most categories. But if you just look at the context of it, it's like This dude inherited the Bulls, who had the best coach, the best GM, and the best Robin ever, and he hit his prime when the Boston Celtics, the Detroit Pistons, and the Lakers were going down. It just seemed like a perfect storm, and that's why I try to tell people, listen, you can't win 6 titles unless everything goes right. Nobody does that in sports. Nobody three-peats twice. Everything has to go right. It has to be a perfect storm. The dynasties were falling off. He had the best coach, best GM, best Robin ever, and the best system around him for him to win 6. That doesn't mean that he's not the GOAT, but you just got to recognize that almost everything had to go right for him to do that. And for
Right.
LeBron, he inherited a franchise who gave him Mo Williams in 7 years. I mean,
Don't forget. Don't
With
forget
the owner who hate him.
Ilgauskas.
Yeah, he had a
2004
Jonas
NBA All-Star.
Ilgauskas. He had Mo Williams. He took a team to the finals where Larry Hughes was his second leading scorer.
With like
Larry
12.
Hughes. Go look up Larry Hughes. You don't even know who he is. Like,
He averaged like
that's what I'm
12.
saying. He's just the best at elevating talent. He did that at 22 years old. You know what Michael was doing at 22? Didn't win with North Carolina with Dean Smith as head coach. Like, Michael had great coaches. He had Dean Smith at North Carolina, and then he had Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
And Doug Collins, who's a great young coach.
And I mean, LeBron.
The Bulls knew what they were doing, man. They knew what they were doing. They were great. Even though they had previously sucked, they just came together at the perfect time. And the Cavs are like, shoot, I'm just glad we're relevant.
Facts.
You know what I mean? They
Well, I
didn't
mean-
care about winning.
I mean, you can see that because LeBron leaves and goes to Miami and they win 16 games.
Yeah.
And the year before, LeBron had won 61 games.
Yeah.
From 2009
And
to
then that people will
2010.
be like, oh, Mo Williams left too. It's like, what? Mo Williams is contributing to 3 wins a season, maybe.
yeah.
Like, stop that.
Yeah. His wins above replacement isn't 50.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like one dude can't win 6 championships. It has to be such a well-oiled machine. And it's just proof that when he left the Bulls, they went from 57 to 55. I'm not saying any of this to say that he's not the GOAT. I'm just saying that a lot of things have to go right for you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Think about Shaq and Kobe won 3. Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
2
Well,
top 3 players on the same team.
That's something that
Shaq has one of the most dominant peaks ever, top 3 peak easily, and you had Kobe ascending with guys like Gary Payton, Derek Fisher, just studs.
which like I said earlier, I
Robert
gave
Horry.
my list just now. And personally, like I said, ask me again tomorrow, but I would put Michael Jordan as the GOAT right now. And even still, I think it's better that he retired after the second three-peat. Just for his legacy and nostalgia overall. Because nobody cares about what he did up until the first three-peat. Even though he lost to the Pistons 3 times and couldn't go over 500 without Pippen. And couldn't win a playoff series without Pippen.
Barely could win a playoff game. He's 1-9.
1-9 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So people
Never beat Larry
people
Bird in a
neglect.
single game. Never beat him in a single game.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's crazy.
Which, I mean, that Celtics team was loaded, but
I don't
yeah.
care. You got to win one game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, I
just-
mean, he dropped 63 in a loss.
Yeah, but
In
you said you
overtime.
watched that overtime. It was his fault why they lost. But I guess he just got burnt
and
out.
he got
But think
he
about
got
it like
fouled a
this.
ton.
What if Conor McGregor would have retired when he beat Eddie Alvarez and never fought again? Dude would be in every top 10 list just because it was myth.
Well, what do you think?
But after he came back,
What do you
yeah,
think
it even elevated him greater because it's like he would still be dominating to this day. Obviously, we don't know that. But if McGregor would have,
Oh, yeah. Let me finish my thought, though. Yeah. So people neglect the first, 7 years?
yeah.
So,
7
yeah.
years before he
So
won.
people neglect the first 7 years of Jordan's career. They started from the first three-peat. They neglect 95 because he had just come back from baseball. Then he wins 3 more. Then he retires again. Then they get rid of the Wizards. So what they really focus on is those 6 years when he three-peated twice. And then you have multiple nostalgic theories on Jordan's career that he would have won 8 straight if he stayed for those 2 years entirely, and that the Wizards years don't count.
So let's just take LeBron's. Let's just take after the Mavericks 2012 to 2020. Let's just compare those stats because they're going to be right there with each other in like everything. LeBron was 4 for 8.
Yeah.
Jordan was 6 for 8.
I just think
LeBron had some crazy playoff performances in that stretch too.
one, to the people that say that Jordan wasn't part of a system, especially on our social medias, I guess they've never watched The Last Dance even.
Yeah.
Because
Have you
the
heard them
triangle's
talk
even
about it?
mentioned in that this dude was in a system that he was forced to buy into, then agrees, then they win.
Yeah,
immediately.
They said, look, we're gonna try the triangle and we're gonna be better as a team. And you're not gonna have like the ball till the end of the shot clock every single time.
Right. And then they win. What's up? But yeah, so like I was saying before, I think it almost helps his career.
All right, shoot.
We're in the middle of an episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
We're just chatting.
No. But yeah, I think it almost helps his career.
And we would just be chatting right here with mics on our
I don't
face.
know. I don't know. We're
All
almost
right,
done. We're almost done.
This is what we do in our free time. We just
Yeah.
act like we're on a podcast.
Was the podcast? I was actually thinking about this the other day. The podcast as a whole is kind of a goofy thing. Like
Yeah,
we're just sitting in a
it's-
corner.
It's
talking.
basically just public speaking.
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
why
yeah,
I was
but,
so.
like,
That's why I was so nervous the first time we recorded because it felt like you don't even realize you just feel like you're talking to like 100 people because you're
Oh, yeah.
talking to somebody, but you're also feel like you're talking to an audience that's like a fake audience
Yeah.
that's there,
well, and
but it's just virtual audience.
like I don't know if you guys know this, but like if you hear like a video of yourself, a lot of people hate how you sound,
Yeah,
like how they sound themselves or whatever.
I'm so used to it.
Oh yeah, I'm super used to it now. But like at the time, you kind of like, what's up, or like whatever, like
yeah,
like
try to,
subconsciously.
make your voice better.
And for
It's
us,
like when you
we've had
when you
probably
meet a girl.
thousands of voice
It's
cracks.
like when you meet a girl that you think is cute, and then
So
you
shout
try to make your voice deeper.
the Kyle,
Hey, what's up?
the Kyle.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? What's up, girl? Oh yeah.
Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle. Go Nuggets.
Yeah.
All right, NBA offseason grades. We'll start with the Lakers. I gave the Lakers a B+. I thought they filled some holes. I was more excited that they re-signed the guys that they thought they should have. The only thing I'm really not a huge fan of was the Gabe Vincent signing.
Oh, I think
mean,
that was a good signing.
So you liked it. I thought it was okay. I would give that signing a C. Otherwise, I'd put him at an A-.
The only signing I question is D'Angelo Russell, but it's like you said, it's like who else are they going to get? I just think that
Yeah, who else are you going to get for under 20
I
million
love
a year at point guard?
the Austin Reeves signing because I thought they were going to pay him way more. They got him for 4 years, $50 million, $56 million. That's a steal, dude. I thought they were going to have to – because what they were talking like is it was going to be like a 4-year, $80 million, 4-year, $100 million type deal. And they got him for like $15 million a year. That's a steal, dude. That's just going to free up some cap space to go get someone else that's good.
You got a grade?
I still think that I'll give them like a B+. I still think if they got like another all-star level dude or a borderline guy that's like a playmaker, then I would have gave them an A. So they still have time to get that, and if they do, then I think that they're like a top 3 contender. Right now, I think they're maybe a little bit better than they were last year. But like I said, it all comes down to they won't need another guy if AD plays like a top 5 player like bubble AD and then LeBron just comes back healthy. You know what you're gonna get. He's gonna next year. If I were to guess his stats, I would say like 25, 7 and 6. I don't think he's gonna like go out and drop 30 again, like he did the past couple of years. But
Phoenix Suns. I gave the Phoenix Suns a B-, and this is off season. Now, one thing I will say is, I didn't look at that team and watch them play the Suns and then think, man, like what they really need is like a perimeter offensive superstar. And then
I
they
just
signed Bradley
think
Beal,
that-
or they trade for Bradley Beal. So I don't really get it. But obviously you add Bradley Beal. Man, I can see his face. But who is that dude they just signed for $6 million 2 years?
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon. Yeah, Eric Gordon I thought was a good signing.
Yeah.
So overall I gave him a B- just because
they were very limited.
they're super limited. They have no cash. They're paying 3 guys the max, or actually 4 guys the max with DeAndre Ayton. So yeah, I don't get it, but whatever. I give him a B-.
Yeah, I give them like a B or a C+ just because they were super limited. I just question that. I think they could have had Booker and Katie and a bunch of depth, like 3-and-D guys, and they'd have been better off. But they got 3 guys who get hurt a lot.
I agree.
And their defense is just going to be terrible. So, I mean, it just reminds me a lot of the Brooklyn Nets from James Harden, Kyrie, and Katie, but that team had better depth. And if you think about it, they won like 48 games or 50 games without the 3 of them before. They had like a good system going. They had good depth, good pieces.
Yeah, but
Good
they also had
homegrown
surprise.
players.
They also
Yeah.
had surprise guys.
Yeah, they had some surprise guys like Bruce Brown and them. So
and
Joe Harris,
Spencer
Bruce
Dinwiddie.
Brown, yeah, they traded him for Harden or for whoever. He was gone, but I just think that their defense is gonna be bad and they're gonna have depth issues and they're probably gonna get hurt. But I still think that You know, if it just they got to get really lucky, I think, for their health, and then just go from there.
Warriors. I gave the Warriors a B, mainly because of that Draymond Green signing. I thought that was actually decent. Like I actually disagree with a lot of people because I actually think that he was worth $100 million to the Warriors, not to anybody else, but to the Warriors. He was worth $100 million. So I'm glad that they got him back. Obviously, you still keep Clay. The only thing that's questionable in their offseason move so far is Chris Paul, and then they lost Vincenzo or however you say his name.
I think that Chris Paul either could be a disaster or help them a lot, just because I think Chris Paul could help give their offense more like options, I guess. Like they could switch up their offense a little bit. They don't always have to be such a running gun, chaotic type offense. And then when Chris Paul's on the court, they can be more slow, methodical, and get just a different type of looks. I just think that the only way he's going to be super impactful is just helping that second unit, because with Steph on the floor, they're like the best offense in the league, and without him, they were like the worst.
Yeah.
So I think Chris Paul is going to help with that.
And same with, I guess he's not going to really help defensively, but.
So.
Yep. All right, that's all for episode number 67 of the Good Point Bro podcast. As you guys know, my name is Candace Mother Cam.
Asleep.
Check us out on Instagram at goodpointbro, TikTok goodpoint.bro, and as you guys know, on YouTube at the Good Point Bro podcast. Make sure you go ahead and download Stadium Live to help support us. Besides that, like, comment, subscribe. Go check out some other videos. We appreciate it. But we'll see you in the next one, episode 68 loading.
Peace.
See you guys later. Jesus is King.